Good morning, beautiful people. I wanted to jump on a video this morning and show you guys one of my latest morning routines that I started doing when I was living in Nepal, or I started doing it again, rather. And that is the Neti Cleanse. So that's cleaning the nose, cleaning out your nostrils and the nasal cavity between the nose and the throat. And the way that we do this is that we use a saltwater mixture. So you just have to use clean water, clean drinking water, boil the water, and you want to use a really good quality of salt. So I think the best salt that you can use is pink Himalayan salt, but I believe sea salt or organic salt is also going to be a good choice as well. When I first learned how to do a Neti cleanse, I was using a Neti Pot, which is this little, kind of like a little teapot that has a large tube coming at the end. And what you do is you actually pour the water up your nose and it comes out the other nostril. But when you don't have one of those, especially as an avid traveler, I don't carry those with me wherever I go. And it actually, I realize, is kind of a block, because if you don't have a Neti Pot, you tend to not clean your nose. And the benefits from doing a Neti cleanse every day are incredible. First of all, it cleanses everything, so you can breathe clearer, and you feel I feel a lot lighter, a lot clearer, a lot more open. It's a great way to start the day, kind of wakes you up as well. And I find that it helps to avoid getting sick. It helps to keep your immune system at a higher level. It helps to cleanse all the tubes so that you can breathe deeper and you get all the gunk out that might be stuck there. So it's an incredible tip for good health, maintaining good health. If you ever feel a sickness coming on, then this is another great time to do a Neti cleanse. But I just like to do it every single morning and make it a part of my morning routine. And when I was in Nepal, I didn't have a Neti Pot, so I didn't know what to do. But one of my yoga teachers showed me how you can do this Neti cleanse with just your hand. Essentially, you make the mixture and you just pour it into your hand and suck it up one of your nostrils and then spit it and cough it out the mouth. So it's not very pretty, but it's effective and an awesome way to do a Neti cleanse without a Neti Pot. So I will show you in this video how to do that. So I have here my supplies. I have my pink Himalayan salt, my cup, and some cold drinking water. This is cold filtered clean water. And then I have a pot of boiled water right here. So I put in a little bit of salt. As you can see, it's about a teaspoon of salt. I don't measure it, but you want to make sure the mixture is pretty salty. So I will add a little bit of salt of hot water. And as this is going to be on your hands and going up your nose, you don't want it to be too hot. You want it to be, about the temperature of your body, lukewarm. So I add the cold to help balance out the temperature. So if you do this properly, it should not hurt your nose at all. It should not sting. I think there's some fear around this because we've all gotten water up our noses when we're swimming in a pool or in the ocean, and it stings, it hurts. But if you've created the right consistency of a mixture, it won't sting at all. So you want it to be just lukewarm, and I've noticed that if there's not enough salt, it's gonna sting. But I've also noticed that if you put way too much salt in, it also stings. But there's a nice range, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And as you do this more often, you'll just be able to just eyesight and eyeball it. But another way that I can tell if my mixture is correct is to begin the cleansing. You actually cleanse out your mouth first. So you drink some of the water, you gargle it around, you swish it around, and this is also how I can tell if it's salty enough. So I want it to taste quite salty, and again, you kind of get used to the correct taste. All right, so from that I can tell that I want it to be a little bit warmer and possibly a tiny bit saltier. All right, so I'm gonna start the Neti Cleanse. I'm gonna move the camera so that you can hopefully see what I'm doing. All right, so with my mixture in my hand, I'm basically gonna try to bring the water up to one nostril at a time and then cough and spit it out. This is cleaning the passageway between the nose and the throat. I'll do it a few times on one side and then switch. I know this doesn't look pretty. After doing it a few times, you might want to blow your nose, but don't blow your nose too hard because any excess water that's in the nasal cavity might get pumped into your ears and you might feel your ears pop. So be careful not to blow too hard. My yoga teacher taught me to just go each nostril like this. To get out any excess water and to clean. And I just keep going until I'm all out of water. And again, I always save a little bit of water at the end to do one more cleansing of the mouth. All right, and another awesome thing about doing this every day, sometimes you'll have one side of your nose a little more clogged than the other. It kind of helps you just pay more attention to what's going on within your body. And it helps to cleanse you. It helps to open up those nasal passageways, to bring balance to both sides. And it's a great way to just cleanse everything out, clear yourself out, and start the day feeling, more energized, more awake, more alive, and more ready for the day. So I hope that this video helps you to be able to use the Neti Cleanse on a regular basis with or without a Neti Pot so that you don't have that block that's preventing you from doing this incredible cleanse that has been part of yoga for thousands and thousands of years. So when I first learned these cleansing techniques in my yoga class, I learned them in my Tantra yoga school in Chiang Mai. We were taught about a few different cleansing techniques that you can use every morning. So one of these is this Neti Cleanse, so using saltwater mixture to clean the nostrils, and then also cleaning the mouth by switching the salt water around. The other way that you can clean your mouth is a tongue scraper. This is incredible. I do this every morning, first thing when I wake up in the morning before I drink any water, because as we sleep, a lot of our toxins, especially from the liver, rise up into the tongue. And if you look at your tongue, the very first thing in the morning, it usually has a white layer of mucus on it. And a lot of people will drink and chug water when they first wake up, which is good because your body is dehydrated, you need water. But what's better is if you can do a tongue cleanse before you drink water. Because as you drink water first thing in the morning, you're flushing all those toxins back in you. And you don't want to do that. You want to get rid of those. So you can buy a tongue cleanser at many places online and a lot of small pharmacies, or you can just use a spoon. So small spoons are the best, these cute little spoons. But essentially you just scrape the surface of your tongue. Just like that. And a white mucus will come off, especially in the morning. I've already done my morning ritual, so it's not so bad. But you just go over it again and again and again, washing it off again and again until you kind of feel that you've gotten most of that layer off. And then go into this neti cleanse, swishing the mouth and using the salt water. And then the last one, if you want to do all of them, is an eye cleanse. So you just use some fresh water, so not salt water, that would not be good, but just some fresh, clean drinking water. You can even just put a cap of water in the cap, and then you just kind of shoot it into your eyes to cleanse your eyes. Yeah. I think room temperature water would be best. This is a bit cold, but it still feels good. It's really refreshing. I do it twice in each eye, and this is incredibly awakening. I mean, if you weren't awake before, you're awake after you pour water in your eye. And again, you want to use clean water, not tap water. So those are my 4 favorite morning practices to really just start my day and help wake myself up. Oh, and one more. And that's just drinking first thing in the morning, having your first beverage be a warm glass of lemon water or lime water. This helps to start the digestive tract, helps start the digestive system, help the metabolism to begin so that everything just starts to flow. It also helps you to have a morning release, if you know what I mean. And it's a really good thing to do in the morning. The warmth of the liquid kind of helps compress your internal organs, your intestines, which kind of helps clear anything that's still left in there from overnight, so that you can flush that out and start your day feeling clear, feeling energized, feeling healthy, feeling awake. Those are my recommended practices for the morning. I hope that you found this video enjoyable. I hope you found that maybe entertaining or at least helpful in starting a new morning practice for yourself. So that's it for this video. Take care and have a beautiful day. Namaste. I found that doing these practices has been a great way to help me get off of the habit and off of the addiction of having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee as the first thing in the morning to help wake me up. I found that these cleansing techniques actually wake me up more efficiently than a cup of coffee, because it's my own natural body, it's my own natural wake up hormones that I'm turning on so that I can wake up more naturally and more efficiently. And then once I'm awake, that's when I choose to have a cup of coffee, or that's when I choose to have a cup of tea, more as just as a pleasure and as a reward, but not as a necessary thing to wake me up, because we can wake up all on our own. This is another reason why you might want to start doing these practices, is if you're trying to get away from coffee, if you're trying to get away from drinking something with caffeine first thing in the morning, this is a great way to shift into a different practice that wakes you up even better.